Back to you with another one, and we finally are back with the Premier League after 2 weeks of dead international football. So this weekend we'll be taking on Leeds United away at Elland Road. So I thought let's look at Leeds United's recent results. So Leeds United lost 1-0 at Wolves at Elland Road, and they lost away 3-0 to Villa at Villa Park. And they lost at home again 4-1 to Leicester City. And they lost again 4-1 to Crystal Palace. So that pretty much sums up Leeds United's season so far. In certain games, they've looked very impressive going at these big teams, but then at certain times, they just look a bit flat. For my notes from Leeds United so far this season, what I've realized is where you play a low block, they find it difficult to break you down. Whereas if you go at them, then that's it. Then they find pockets of spaces to expose you. And I think in terms of Arteta and our pragmatic manager, this should really be an easy game for us, right? We are Arsenal and we tend to make things very difficult for ourselves. But in terms of looking at the lineups and stuff, I thought, you know what? Let me just go over a little article which has raised massive red flags for me today. And it's an article with Arteta speaking to BN Sport, and they were discussing the Aston Villa game as well as the Leeds upcoming game against Leeds United. So, as you can see by the title, Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta resisting urge to change everything after Aston Villa defeat. Now, let's get into the Spaniard's quote. So, here we have, the Spaniard has come under pressure to make changes for the match at Elland Road, like playing captain Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang as a central striker. Apologies, people, too many adverts in these websites. So we continue on by saying, and I think that's a really bad temptation because a lot of things are working and it's really clear on the things that we want to improve on and how we're going to. The reality is the last game left us a really bad taste, and the way we lost against Villa with the performance, I just want a game right the next morning. Okay, so if we take on his quotes and digest that, it seems like he's not going to change things. He's going to persist with five at the back. That's what he sounds like to me. And for me, that's a massive, massive red flag. Reason being is because, Mikel, it's not reactionary. It's not as if we lost to Aston Villa and we need to change things up. No, we've not really played well at all this season. And I'm going to put it out to you guys over there. If, with the exception of the Fulham game, name me one decent performance we had this season, because I can't recall it. Some might say Manchester United, but even after we beat them that game, did I not come out and say I wasn't fully convinced? We beat them 1-0. Yes, penalty. Yes, they hit the woodwork. So is it really, really that much of a great victory? Not in my opinion. And also from Arteta's quotes, he does mention that he wanted a game straight after. No, Mikel. You needed this 2 weeks to just stop, relax, and just assess everything. And for me, this goes back to one of the main issues, I think. I think Mikel Arteta, for me personally speaking, it's like he's got too many yes men in terms of his coaching staff, and there's no one out there to actually criticize him. That's why I think he needs a really experienced member within his coaching staff that from time to time will say, Mikel, you sure you want to go with that formation? I don't think you should be doing that, Mikel. Maybe perhaps we need to look at things like this, Mikel, because otherwise I'm just seeing the same thing. It's like every Arsenal manager we bring in is just stubborn, refuses to change. Arsene Wenger was stubborn for so long. He just wasn't bothered in terms of game plan. He went all guns blazing, regardless whether you played fucking Barnsley FC or Barcelona in the Champions League. And hence why we got thrashed 5-1 against Bayern Munich here and there, 8-2 against Manchester United, 6-0 on his 1000s game. And then you got, straight after him, Unai Emery comes in, and guess what he does? Oh, I fancy playing Lucas Torreira as a number 10. And he's stubborn to that. And he had his ways as well. He refused to select a lineup in which us fans were happy about and we could all celebrate before a game started. And here we've got this guy who's just so stubborn and in his way. I would like to ask something. Is part of the criteria when we search for a manager that they are very stubborn and they are opposed to any changes? Because I'm starting to think that's the idea here at Arsenal. We want to bring in these stubborn guys, and we are opposed to any changes whatsoever. But anyways, without wasting any more time, let me just get into the lineup prediction that I think Arteta will deploy against Leeds United. And based on the comments he's made, as you can tell, I've stuck with the sort of same defensive pragmatic formation. But to be fair, against Leeds United, it might work just because, as I've mentioned earlier on in the video, they are they're more prone to leaking goals when they are countered. When you sit deep and then you get them on a break, that's when Leeds United look weakest. If you come at them, then you're playing into their hands. So in terms of the predicted lineup, that I believe Mikel Arteta will put out on Sunday, I think he's going to go with Burton in goal, David Luiz, Gabriel, and Tierney as our three centre backs, and I think he will go with that Fuller game, and he will go with Ainsley on the left wing back, and I reckon he's going to go with Partey and Ceballos, or shall I say Zinedine Zidane with his new shaved cut. Up three, I think, evidently from his quote by refusing to, but he's refusing. I believe with Arteta, the more people are telling him you need to play Oba through the middle, the more he's reluctant to do it. I really think he's that sort of guy. So I think based on those comments as well in the article where it's referring to playing Oba through central, and he said just because you lose doesn't mean you should be reactionary and change. Hence why I've gone with Oba on the left-hand side, Lacazette, and Willian. I know he had that whole issue going out to Dubai and meeting Salt Bay, etc. So I'm not sure whether the club will punish him. But if they don't, then I'll have to scratch my head, because what happened to non-negotiable? What happened to the way you sort of treated Ozil and Matteo Gondozi? That should now be, that should now be a given, and that should now be the standard going forward. So you can't make an example out of Guendouzi and then Willian goes off during a pandemic over to Dubai and, takes pictures with Salt Bay and then he can come back into the squad. If Mikel does that, then that's serious, serious questions for me. But let me just explain to you the lineup I would field instead. So this will be the lineup I would go for. Burton on goal. I'll go with Ainsley as our right back. Yes, I've gone with a 4 at the back. I think, it's Leeds United. We don't necessarily have to play 5 at the back. And hence why with my formation, I've gone with 2 DM, so we can sit back and then get them on the counter. So as going back to the centre-back pairing, I've gone with Gabriel, Luiz. Some of you there might be thinking, hold up, didn't you have William Saliba there in your video going forward for the formation and personnel Mikel Arteta should have? Yes, that's true, but I've come to the realization Arteta's never going to play Saliba. I've given up on that, and I've just accepted it. Best thing for Saliba, or Saliba, as you should pronounce it, is that come January, we loan him out. So for the time being, the best 2 pairing we have is Gabriel and Luiz. I'm going to go with Tierney in that left back spot. I think Tierney for far too long has been playing or deploying in that left centre back spot, and that's probably perhaps why you've seen him regress recently. And I think by the time we put him back to left back, it's going to be so long that the kid might actually forget how to play or be a left back. So we just need Tierney to get back into left back spot and pick up from where he left off towards last season when he was putting balls through on that left-hand side. In terms of the 2 DM, I'm going to go with Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey. I think Xhaka will be decent, so when Tierney sort of bombs forward, Xhaka can fill that void at left back. And Partey, he's a horseman anyway, up and down all day. I'm going to go with Willock in that sort of attacking midfield role. Not really attacking midfield, but I like sort of see Willock sort of drive from deep and taking a ball forward and hopefully creating opportunities and space for the front three. And in terms of front three, I've gone with Saka, Aubameyang, and Pepe. Only concern is I know Saka's played quite a lot of football recently in terms of international. He might be a bit fatigued, so maybe we might give the kid a break. And if we do rest Saka, then who would I have there instead? Perhaps Nelson. Yeah, Reece Nelson I'd have. And for me, I think Willian needs to be punished after his antics out in Dubai. I think if you're going to set a precedent and say non-negotiable, he needs not to play this game just to prove that you are a serious manager and you don't take crap from anyone. I've obviously gone with Oba through the middle and Nicolas Pepe on the right-hand side. So that's my lineup. Am I confident? No. Do I think we'll win? No. So what's my prediction? I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw, and I can see it being a tough game. So those are my prediction and my lineup. If you could please subscribe, like, and let me know what your lineup will be and your score predictions. Thank you so much, guys. All the best. Take care.